Pollnagollum. Before we begin, if you are a member of the Company of Salt and Iron and you're watching this video, you are not allowed to talk about what happens in this video in Discord. So if you watch the video, say nothing in Discord. If someone asks you, hey, anybody watch the video? Just say nothing. With all that out of the way, the four of you head out to your neighbor, Pollnagollum. It's been a number of days setting up the camp and everybody getting back into a routine of being at camp, fending off the occasional sort of like nasty large fish or rat swarm or whatever hideous insect thing kind of approaches the camp or tries to get into your food stores. And after everything is sort of settled, the company commander's attention turns to your neighbor, Pollnagollum, up the way a bit, and then eventually to the dam, right? But for now, Pollnagollum. You set out. It's a very short journey. It's only about a quarter of a mile away, but because the ground is so muddy and wet, it's a little slow going. The sun is high in the sky. And I will tell you, as you get about halfway there, you start to be able to make out Pollnagollum in some detail. It is a village. It is partially submerged by water or sunken into the mud. There appears to be a large cornfield, maybe, in the center of it, and there's a number of buildings and structures kind of all around that. And you'll notice that you'll see dozens of people standing on the various rooftops of the village. What do you all do?
I think Vendra addresses Horgust and she says, "That's strange. Just like the bishop stood on his cathedral."
That guy was kind of unhinged, so that's not a particularly good sign.
They might just be trying to avoid the water. Maybe they need help.
Could be some money to be made in helping them.
You have a Sekol investigate the village of Pollnagollum. If anyone would like to ask questions as you approach, please do.
As we're approaching, I would like to take a look at the architecture in this village. I want to see, does it look like it's Naganese? Does it look like it's like old Kalduri?
Good question. Yeah,
I want to know the
yeah,
history based on that.
make a hunt roll.
I have skills in crafting and metal, so I can
I'll
take a look
take
at
it.
what sort of
Yeah.
structures they have. That's a 5.
Take your token. I don't think you can determine anything, at least at this distance, with regards to the buildings, what and their how they were made necessarily. They at this distance they just look like the common sorts of sometimes stone, sometimes mud thatch village structures that you would expect to find. Certainly, a lot of them have sunk into the mud and partially collapsed, so if they're ancient, meant to stand the test of time, they didn't. So I will say though, as you all get a little closer, you're still like pretty far away, you're not within shouting distance yet. You'll notice that all the people standing on the roofs of the houses are actually standing on the edge of the roofs and they're looking down at something. Vendra, what do you do?
So there's still water around the houses?
Yes. In fact, yeah, you can. Yeah, you don't need a hunt roll for that. Like, yeah, there's still like quite a lot of standing water. Yeah, and
Okay,
indeed,
fair
this
enough.
cornfield is like flooded, right?
Um, I mean, we should go closer, get closer, and um, you know, see what they are looking at.
I heard this story before, Vendor. It's always like, oh, let's go find out what the curious looking people are doing. And then a village is eating you, or someone is trying to kill you, or someone is booby trapping you with zombies. You know how this ends. I know you're going to think, who is this guy and what did he do with Horrorgast? But I think caution perhaps is warranted.
I mean, you can ask Rias. There aren't any booby traps around here. We've checked.
Rias, what are you doing right now?
First, I'd like to spend 1 hunt token. I don't like sitting on 3 of them right now.
Fair enough.
To get a piece of treasure.
Yeah, I think you will probably, as you are, um, your boot will kick. There's a lot of like sort of ancient dam builder treasures that have been dislodged from the bursting of the dam. We've been finding them periodically, and you find another such thing. This is, it appears to be like an ornate, small ornate box made of just made of tin and brass, but its antiquity makes it valuable, and it's sort of etched with images um, of various animals. It's worth 1 gold. Basso?
As we are making our way towards the village, I think I actually would like to try my ritual.
Mm-hmm.
I have a ritual of messenger where I can send a message via a creature. I would like to send a bird with a message to one of the people on the rooftops to ask them, why are you on the roof?
Horagest, Vendra, and Rias Ilsmat. You set out from camp to make contact with the people at Pollnagollum because the time to do so has finally come. But also because yesterday, company member Basso set out to speak to the people of Pollnagollum and has not yet returned. What do you do? Indeed, you see everything as previously described. You see the village half submerged. You see the cornfield deluged. And you see people standing on the rooftops looking down.
I think Horrorgast has got a deeply ingrained suspicion of situations like this from long experience and is not going to go in and is going to sit and watch what other people do and look for patterns. So I kind of want to do a hunt roll, but I just kind of want to see what happens because he's getting this very deep feeling of unease.
You can do a hunt roll with patterns. I think that's good.
Let's try. I got a 5.
Wouldn't it be really funny if I said I want to spend a hunt token again?
You got a 5. Take a token. One thing you'll notice is there's really not much pattern to be discerned here. All of the people standing on the rooftops, they're quite motionless, looking down at something in the center of the town square. Well, really, it's just that cornfield. There's no movement at all. They're eerily still and have been for the past, well, at the pace you're going, probably the past 5 or so minutes of you slogging through on your approach. You're still not quite within shouting distance. Vendra, what do you do?
I'm curious about the environment. If there's any animals, plant life, you know, around that looks suspicious. Um, if they act strange as well.
Make a hunt roll.
So basically, I'm interested in how the trees look and plants, and I've got plants as a skill.
2 dice.
That's all
Ask your
right.
questions.
Is it just the humans that it's a 5 that are acting strange, or are other living beings also acting strange?
Periodically, there's really nothing to be gleaned about the plants except to say that periodically a bunch of starlings, a flock of starlings, swirl and try to land on the corn, but their cloud of birds stops about a foot above the tallest stalk of corn and sort of hovers and then flies off. Rias, what do you do?
Is it dark enough that I can look up at the stars?
It's perfectly sunlight right now.
Oh, my lands. Um, then yeah, I'm gonna spend a hunt token, find another piece of treasure.
Your boot kicks something in the mud. You can reach down and pick it up. It appears to be a sort of like stone idol or effigy of some ancient king, maybe. I don't know. Some antiquity worth 1 gold.
Do I still have the box?
You do.
Do I know where this box came from?
Horagest and Vendra. The 2 of you set out from camp to investigate the village of Pollnagollum. 1, because it needs to be done, but 2, because company members Rias Ilsmot and Basso set out 2 days ago and have yet to return. You get about halfway there, and you see the half-submerged village. You see the flooded cornfield. You see people standing on the rooftops. You see a murmuration of starlings circling, swooping down, trying to land on the corn, but thinking better of it and flying away. Basso, the first thing I'm going to describe to you is the smell. It is warm. It is savory. It's good. It's like the smell of something bubbling on the stove. And then you see, indeed, there is a large cauldron. And there is an elderly woman ladling a thick and hearty stew into a bowl. She is very, very dainty, but has a very kind face, ruddy-cheeked, hair pulled back up in a bun. I'm so happy you came to see me. Here, eat, eat.
Mum, I'm very sorry. I'm quite confused. Who are you?
Eat. That will make it all better.
How good does the stew smell?
Delicious.
I'll take a bite of the stew.
So Horagus and Vendra, what do you do as you approach the village? You have the set goal of investigating Pollnagollum.
Aragest is going to sit cross-legged and glare at the village and say, "This isn't right."
Why? They just stand on the rooftops like the bishop did the other day.
Did I ever tell you the story of the Croatoa, Vendra?
I don't recall.
It was a town like any other. And then the story will go on, and I'll tell the story of the village that tried to eat me, which everyone's heard and is very bored of hearing. And just keep staring at Polnagra, like glaring at it.
I think I'll spend a hunt token to get some treasure.
You didn't notice her there before, but there's a girl, muddy, filthy, underfed, clothes ragged. And she has a basket. And she moves back a cloth covering the interior of the basket. And she says, "For you." Indeed, the basket is filled with coins and gems worth 1 gold. Ria Silsmat, you are being led down a procession. There are people standing on either side of you, lined up. All of them are wearing white. All of them are draped with flowers. All of them are staring down. And you are being led down the middle of this procession by someone who will not turn back to look at you. And as you go, all the people who are looking down, they're draping you with flowers. Until at the very end, someone puts a crown of flowers on your head. And then all of this parts to show your destination. A woman, beautiful, voluptuous, laid along a bed of flowers. "I've been waiting so long for you. Come, join me."
Who are you? Why am I here?
I am the fulfillment of everything you desire.
I don't think you understand my desires very much.
Horagest, Vendra, you're getting very near the village now. You can start to make out in more detail what's going on. Horagest, what do you do?
I'm going to do a loop and do the exact same hunt roll that I did last time around and think, oh, maybe there's something a bit suspicious about this. I'm going to look for some patterns.
Indeed. Go ahead. You're closer now. You can see things better.
I got a 3. I knew that was going to happen until my luck runs out.
Vendra, you set out from camp to investigate the village of Pollnagollum. For a start, because you have to, it's time, but also because 3 of your fellow treasure hunters went missing some days ago when they went out to communicate with the people of Pollnagollum. You slog through the mud. And you get about halfway there, and you see the village. All the people standing on the roofs, looking down at something in the cornfield. What do you do?
I think on my way, I'm complaining that I've been sent here alone. But then I stop and I look around if there's any sign of the others, like their boat, uh, you know, um, an arm that might have belonged to Horagast, a big hammer lying around, any trace of them.
Make a hunt roll.
Well, hmm. I'm improvising. I've got no idea what I'm doing here.
I don't know if improvising really fits what you've described.
Okay, maybe I've got like an item that could help me. I wonder what. Nah, I'm just rolling one die and see how it goes. That's a 2.
You slog through the mud. You get really close to the village, actually. The buildings are quite spaced out. The cornfield's much bigger than it seemed from the distance. And there's something breaking the water between the rows of corn. You can occasionally see the ripple of the water. Everyone is standing on the roofs, men, women, children, looking down at whatever that thing is. Basso, Horagest, and Riasil Smat are standing on the roofs. Different roofs, looking down at what's in there. And so are you. Let's take 5. Horagest, you're in a bed. Some sort of hospital or convalescent ward. A narrow bed. And there is a woman sitting on a chair next to you. She says, "Oh, good, you're awake."
I always knew this would be how it ends. Oh, and I look at my arms and legs. Are they missing? Have I reached the end of my curse?
They're normal flesh, arms, and legs.
Oh, this is a pleasant surprise. Who are you?
How many times do I have to tell you who I am? We've talked about this so much.
Wait. Do I know you? Have we met?
Yes. You were injured in the battle. You've been having the most feverish dreams. You told me you were made of stone. But you're getting better.
I don't like this. Why are you lying to me?
There are no lies here. Lie back now. Lie back and let me help you.
No, I want to get up. I want to get up. No.
Vendra, you are tied to a stake, piled high with kindling, a pyre. There is another woman next to you, also tied to a stake. And there's a crowd of people standing all around, yelling in anger, demanding that the witches be burned. All of them are looking down at their feet. The woman next to you turns her head. She is bound, just like you, and says, "I suppose this is the end." Even though she whispers, you can hear it perfectly in your ear as if she was right next to you.
Wait, what happened? I'm not a witch. Just walked into that village.
There's no need to pretend anymore. Hold your head up high as you burn.
I think she starts screaming.
Indeed. Bazo, the old woman, has been feeding you stew and mutton and pies and cake and fruit. Food. So much food. It's smeared all over your mouth. You've been fed so much. You've enjoyed so much of her hospitality, and it never stops. You just vomit right there at the table. You evacuate your body right there at the table, and still it comes. "I think you're going to really love this," she says as she brings a bowl of trifle and a spoon. "We have to fatten you up, don't we?"
And I think there's a moment because Bazo is huge. He is a huge man. He is big of chest and big of belly and even bigger now. I do believe I might be done. This is quite excellent, Mum.
Take me through the risk roll.
What could go wrong here?
You are fed until you burst.
Like a goldfish.
You discover that outside of this illusion, you're eating something that isn't as delicious.
Ooh.
That'd be a good devil's bargain, actually.
That would also
All right,
be
I'll hold that one back as the
Yeah.
devil's bargain.
If we don't have any other ideas, and that is okay, then I would like to leverage my skill of endurance to get through this. I feel like I am risking mind and or body here, so I feel like there
You're
needs to
definitely
be
getting a dark die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I am absolutely open for a devil's bargain if anybody has one for me.
Yeah, like I said, no matter what, you realize that you have been eating something while standing on top of the building, and it's not cakes and pies and stew.
I second James's.
Just to have something else on the table. You exhaust yourself so much that you can't use endurance for the rest of this delve.
That's like my one.
Actually, that's not so bad. It's only we're almost done, right?
Oh, well, okay.
It's kind of bad.
Okay, so but we should have another one, I think.
It's tricky. It's tricky
No
coming
matter
up with the
what,
devil's bargains.
you've. Oh, sorry, that's too similar. Maybe. Um, I don't have an idea.
That's okay. I think I'm going to go with I've been eating something and it's not cakes and delicious things. Because that's amazing and disgusting. And it plays really well into the stew thing, I think. I rolled a 3.
Would you like to add a dark die and try again?
I would love to add a dark die and try again. So I'm going to roll 2 light, 2 dark. And that is a 5 dark, which is much better. My ruin goes up to 4.
Take the condition distended stomach.
It's kind of already that way anyway.
And we'll talk about what the scene looks like at the end in a bit. Ria Silsmat, the revelers are closing in on you, hemming you in, pushing you ever closer to this woman lying on the flower bed, beckoning you. This is the risk roll.
Right. So I think I'm trying to either resist this compulsion or awake from the illusion or something in that sort of sphere. Or really I'm just trying to resist getting shoved into this woman is kind of where we're at. What could go wrong?
She whispers close to your ear, and her words are poison.
She is so beguiling. Is that a word? That's a word now. That you forget your mother's name.
I cannot beat that.
Keep going if there's no other thoughts on what could go wrong.
Do I have a skill that would help me here? Or equipment. Numbing herbs if I stretch, but I don't know. Transformation, maybe if I can.
I think the numbing herbs are interesting if you describe
Okay.
how you use them.
If Rias begins to suspect that he's in a vision or a trance or something, maybe just pulling them out and either realizing that they don't work because he's in a dream state and isn't actually using them, or slowing down his mind enough to where whatever this thing that's riding along with him, either like loses its grip or something along those lines.
I like that, yeah.
Okay. Mark that down to 1 use left. Cool. So that gives me 1 light die. Am I risking mind or body?
Yes.
Okay. 1 light, 1 dark. I'll certainly entertain devil's bargains from the whole table. Why not?
I'm stealing Amanda's fail and using it as a devil's bargain.
Oh man.
I have one that's maybe complementary, which is no matter what, the eyes and mouth of the woman are bleeding the azure ink that you've been looking for from the archive.
No matter
And it's
what.
your mom.
It's your mom. No matter what, your
Nope.
beast bitten form takes control in some way.
Yeah, I certainly I love that idea.
Michael, do you have any offers?
It's an alteration of what we've heard before, but no matter what, when you think of your mother, you'll see that woman's face.
That's pretty good. These are all really good, actually.
Let's play into the beast bitten. I think part of using these numbing herbs, Rias, is going to some of that is going to resurge. Apparently, thought I was cured. Um, so 2 light, 1 dark. Let's go for it. 5 light.
Um, ooh, complication.
Forgetting the mother's name could be a good complication too.
It would be a good complication, but you didn't take it as devil's bargain, so I'd feel bad
Mm.
making it a complication. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. Um, I'm gonna say just that I'm gonna say that actually, whatever this magic is, for a time until a time of my choosing, you actually can't transform into beast form anymore.
Ooh, I'm gonna add a dark die and reroll. 2 light, 2 dark. 6 dark. It's actually a tie, but 6 dark high, so my ruin goes to 3.
Ruin goes up, but it's a full success. We'll describe it in a bit. Your ruin increase. You can put the condition just exhaustion. Horror guest, you are trying to get out of the bed, but you realize that you don't have the use of your legs. And there are surgeons entering the room. The nurse woman says, "Here, the doctor. The visitor is here. We have to take off that infected leg. We don't want the rot to take it." And they begin moving in to saw off your leg. This is the risk roll.
I think almost instinctively, Horrorgast is going to use his glass ritual to say, "I don't want to be here anymore. I don't like this." And he's going to try and disappear from the bed and like vanish from their sight.
Which ritual is it?
It's called glass. I got it. It's one of my 4 rituals, but basically, it's like an instinctive reaction to just not wanting to be here anymore.
But I'm just curious what the text of the ritual is.
Become translucent and nearly invisible.
Oh, I see. So you just like escape because you can't be seen. That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Take us to the risk roll.
Okay, so I mean, like I said, I'm trying to basically, my mind is violently rejecting this scenario, and I'm trying to escape by any means possible. So that's what I'm trying to do. What could go wrong?
Oh, you turn to glass and they smash you into a million tiny shards.
Oh, that's real contrapasso punishment for Horrorgast.
You lose a leg.
Um, no, I'm saving that for Devil's Bargain. I don't have anything.
Yeah, I don't know if I can beat that.
Keep going,
Yeah,
Horrorgast.
Suitably awful. And I think, I mean, I'm using the ritual, but I think I need I think some kind of justification. Oh, I think sacrifice, in that I'm basically like essentially sacrificing my. No, that doesn't work. That sounds like a reach. Maybe attunement, in that I'm trying to sort of disappear from this place and attune myself to another world.
To reality or whatever
Yeah,
reality
to
is.
reality. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that. All right, I'll do that, and of course, I would love some gnarly devil's burgers.
No matter what, you lose a leg.
Mm. Yeah, it's similar. What I had in mind, no matter what, you are convinced amputation will be a step for the cure for Garlem's curse?
No matter what, someone else in this village will contract Garlem's curse. You'll spread it to someone else.
Oh, that's interesting.
No matter what, you become distrustful of people who are hospitable and engage in hospitality, which plays into a condition that you have.
That's so mean. So mean. Oh. I think I'm gonna have to go with someone else contracts Garlem's curse, because I think that one's probably like mean not only to me but to other people.
Two light, one dark.
Yeah, let's do it. Risk 1. 5 light.
The complication is the person who contracts Garlem's curse is the hireling who came out here with all of you and ended up on the roofs. Any other offers?
I think
Seems like that's
So
the only offer on the table.
yeah.
Is that wait, sorry, I thought this is a complication.
Oh, it's complication. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me back up. I got distracted. That is the complication. Sorry, the complication is that one of the person who contracts it is a hireling who was also with you all.
And we'd forgotten about them. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's suitably disturbing.
Vendra, the torches are coming. They're burning the witches. What do you do?
I'm gonna use my orchid ritual. And basically, and you can tell me if that's too much, but it says I can conjure a few dozen apples, some poisonous. I mean, if they come raining down from the sky in a high velocity, just like hail, apples hitting those people with the torches could buy me time to untie me.
I think, I don't know. This feels like a stretch. I don't know. It's not quite working for me.
Okay, fair
Mostly
enough.
because your hands are bound too, which I think is part of the problem.
Oh, I mean, I could just have a knife from my.
I think that makes more
Um,
sense. You just escape. Take us through the risk roll.
all right. So I want to escape. Um, that's what I hope will happen. And what do you guys think could go wrong?
You are burned alive.
You drop the knife before you can cut yourself free.
You make it out, but the other witch takes over your body and you take over hers. And you get burned alive
And
anyway.
you get burned alive anyway.
Oh, yeah. So, um,
My
I
idea
think,
is a devil's bargain, so I'll save it.
yeah, I'm gonna just say I've got a knife and that's in my backpack, and therefore I get a light die, and um, I'm kind of afraid because every other roll went so well. Everyone made it out So I'd like to invoke Halinka's warding prayers. And basically that allows me to remove a dark die.
Oh, okay. I like that.
So for the first round, I would probably just roll 2 light, I
Sounds good.
assume.
Yeah, that's good.
If I take a
A
devil's
devil's bargain. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys have in mind?
My idea is that no matter what, because you're basically using like ritual magic and that essentially the myth becomes true and you are a witch. Like when you leave, you're a witch. Like familiars will come to you, stuff will happen as if you were a witch. You're a witch.
I cannot beat that, but I also want you to roll the dark die so we can see what we missed out on when it gets taken away.
Sure.
No matter what, you are also eating something you didn't intend to be eating at the end of this.
No matter what, some of Rias's beast-bitten curse is transferred onto Vendra, since we seem to be sharing this space, and you'll begin to manifest tiger-like traits.
Okay. I think I'll take James's devil's bargain of having the reputation of being a witch.
It's good. Just go ahead and make it as a condition.
Yep. Um,
And roll 2 light.
okay, let's see how it goes. Oh, that's a hunt. That's a 6.
Fantastic.
And
Bazo,
I'm
please.
gonna roll 1 for. Oh yeah, another 6. For Amanda.
Bazo, go ahead and describe your escape from the little hut where you're eating and being fed.
In my pocket, I have the ashes of my grandmother, and I don't use them, but I put my hand in my pocket just in desperation, looking for anything that I can use. And I think of my grandmother who would feed and feed and feed and feed me. And I think I remember when she died and what it looked like to see her body laid out in her burial, and how this person I'm looking at is nothing like her, is nothing like the actual kind old woman I had imagined her to be. And I jerk backwards out of my chair almost instinctually and kick up the table as I go, and all the food goes flying, flies against this woman, knocks her down, and I flee out the front door. Heavily.
Rias, please describe your escape.
I might be stretching a little bit here, so stop me if I'm intruding. We see Rias getting like pressed closer and closer to this woman, and he's trying to fight against them without wanting to hurt them. And he looks down at the woman's face, and like everything is wrong, but it's not something that he's willing to really fight against. And just as it looks like he's about to embrace this woman, in fact, their mouths are close to touching, a little firefly comes out from the fog and just sort of drifts in the space between their faces. And Rias pauses a little bit pushes back against her, and then another little firefly, and all of a sudden these phantoms that have been pushing against him, um like these little tiny floating fireflies, these little tiny lights begin to pass through them and actually sort of form almost a physical barrier between the two of them. um Rias looks up to where the sun would normally be and just sees the glowing light from the golden lady, the lady, the golden lamp, um, and sees it pulsing in that sort of same pattern that she was demonstrating the night that they met. Um, and Rias looks back at the woman and growls at her and says, "My name is Rias Ilsmat. My mother is my mother is my mother is Anarita Ilsmat," and like just like dives at her with his spear, but in the time that he would have destroyed her, then immediately snaps awake.
Horrigus, please describe your escape.
So I think Haragash just keeps shouting, "I want to disappear! I want to disappear!" And there's like this kind of point where he just becomes translucent and falls through the bed and sort of scrambles away through out of the room. And he runs like, sort of through corridor after corridor of this like hospital, like alone. And he feels like his arms turning to stone again and his lungs filling up with crystals and his curse tearing him apart. And he keeps running and he sees this square of light and he's about to walk through, but he turns around and the woman's there and she just smirks at him and says, "You know what the real truth is? You're Garolum's curse." And then like crystals start growing out of her eyes, out of her mouth, out of her skin. And she just like turns into a big, outcrop of rock, jagged crystal and turns to dust. And he staggers through into the light.
Vendra, describe your escape.
I I think the people with the torches approach, and she says, "All right, I'm gonna confess." And she does and buys some time, talking about poisoning the crops and cursing the land and whatever. And while she's doing that, she slits the ropes, tying her hands. And before the pyre slit, she jumps off. And then several people trying to grab her. There's mob forming around her, and she's being led back. But then she remembers the warding prayers from Helinka, and she mutters them. And for some reason, the people um, seem to fade, and she looks around herself, and all she hears is like a cackling from the woman who was next to her, but the others are gone.
Peter, the runaway king's guard, is backing up desperately on his rear end on the ground, while the hut, on tall buzzard legs, looms over him, its windows like angry glowing eyes. It raises its taloned foot, attempting to strike Peter down, but he gets his sword. It's just within reach, and he swings and cleaves the hut's leg off and runs away into the forest. The five of you say nothing to each other on the journey back to camp. Bazo, your mouth is still smeared with blood and hair. I recommend you clean that off before you get back.